I'm Layla Samaria and I'm part of the Indigenous Educational Youth Conference.
I'm Caitlin Staker and I'm a member of the Indigenous Sunraiser Corporation.
We're just going to ask you some questions about your schooling. Layla, can you tell us a bit about what school was like for you?
I always felt like the black sheep, only because like the way I got spoken to and stuff. Like if I were to swear or something, you know, it would be like, oh wow, that's disgusting, you know, like why would you do that? But like it made me feel bad like about myself, like I wasn't right, like I didn't fit in with other people because I wasn't like them, like I didn't have what they had growing up, and like I don't know, something like that.
Did you want to add anything to that, Caitlin? No. And can you tell me a time that you remember, maybe in primary school, maybe in high school, something that stands out where you felt really different and it seemed obvious to that you and other Aboriginal kids were feeling a bit like it?
Well, I remember one time in high school when we were all sitting around we just all walked out of contrast, which is like an Aboriginal group for the boys. And one of my mate, he swore, and the teacher walked past, but it wasn't him that was swearing, like that just swore just then. It was this other girl. It was a girl that swore, and then she turned around. She's like, "Don't use that disgusting language in this school, and that's not our pride and all this stuff." And like he didn't say anything. He just took it, and then she walked off like out of the door because there was a door right there. And then like he just got angry and started punching the walls and that because he didn't say anything, and like he was confused because. He was shamed because she was like how she yelled, you know. It was real loud and like aggressive, and he just took it because how she was going on. Yeah.
And tell me about the time there was a program when you there was meant to be a teacher employed to work with Indigenous girls, and you were very excited about it. But when I saw you a few months later, nothing had happened. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so like they had this program up and running, and it was really good because like. Most of the kids were on drugs and that, and then they actually bring in a program that was like all the kids would come in, and it was only on Wednesday, and like every Wednesday you'd see like at the contact doors all the black kids were all ready to go to that class like for that day. We only came to school for that because like it was different, like we didn't have to sit and do work, like we did work but we did it in a group, and then we had a yarn circle and that. It was good, and then the principal got like angry because they would bring us like drink bottles, water bottles, and like bring us like frozen drinks and that, and like he got angry because like we were getting special treatments than the other people, but like that's one of the reasons why we all came, because we weren't just pushed aside, and like we felt special because the things that we were getting, and like the principal in my eyes, I reckon. He just didn't like us being happy because he was so used to us being angry and like always yelling and that. That's because how they always just talked, and like we were actually just calm and we were happy, and he didn't like it because we thought we were getting cheeky, like in a way. I don't know, maybe he thought spitefully, I don't know. And then they took the program away, the principal did, and then ever since then all the kids, like all my mates and that, then they don't even go to school. They just stay home and smoke drugs and whatever else.
And you've now just made a decision to leave school altogether and to try to continue your education at TAFE. Can you just tell people, like, what was the final straw? Why did you, at 15 years of age, think, look, I really can't go any further with this school and I need to be out? What was the final decision? What tipped that decision?
Well, they told me that they wanted to put me in Koori Connect, which is another program for Indigenous kids, but I didn't want to go there because I knew I could do the work. It was just I wasn't in the right headspace because I was on drugs myself, and the way that I got treated at school, they would search me every day, like even when I wouldn't bring it to school, they'd search me every day, and then I was like, nah, I'm gonna stop it, you know, and because I got sick because of it, so I stopped all drugs, and then I told them, like I was always honest with them when I was on it, you know. And I told them I'm not doing it anymore. I've been to counselling. I'm trying to get a job, and they still didn't see anything in me. They just would search me every day, and every time I'd walk, they were like, "What are you doing?" And I say, "I'm going to class. I just got to school," something like that. And they would be like, "Oh well, this teacher wants to speak to you." And when I would go speak to them, it'd be, "Oh, do you have anything on you? Are you going to go fight this person?" And all this stuff. And I said no, like I haven't even been to school. And then they would get people to like, they would go talk to my family that went to the same school as me, and they would say, "Oh, can you roll on Layla?" Because they wanted to get police involved. They wanted to roll on me, saying that I was dealing and stuff at school, which I wasn't. And then like, I told them because I left school for a bit, and then I came back to a meeting and I was sober and everything. I got a job too. And I said, "I'm ready to come back to school," because I told them before I wasn't ready for it. My head wasn't in the right place, and I tried telling them, and they kept pushing me. So I just stopped going, and then when I did want to come back to school and I was fine, they said, "We still think that you're a threat," which I wasn't, and that they think that I need to be like taught, like away from the school, like in Korea Connect. And I told them, "You send all the kids that are being on drugs and that, you send them to Korea Connect where they're all around each other, and everyone's still doing the same thing, but they're doing it worse. So like they're on heavier drugs, they're doing badder things, they're not even going home at night." And like they didn't want to listen, and I got angry, and I said fine. Like I swore at them, and I said I just do it on my own, which I have. I've got 2 jobs and whatnot. And I said I'll do it on my own. I don't need any of you. Just put me down anyway. So there's no point of trying to show what I can do to you, because you obviously don't care. You only see the badness in me. So I left school.
And do you think other Indigenous kids have a similar experience to you?
Yeah.
Would you go as far as saying it's fairly common experience for some Indigenous kids just to feel not wanted at school and disconnected from it?
Yeah, well, like you would think when you go to school, it would be like people understand you. Like, and I know for some kids like me, I didn't want people to understand because I didn't feel like they would understand. And I know it's not normal for the things I was thinking around me, but I just thought, just keep it to myself and I'll be right. And the teachers didn't make it any better. Like, they don't realise all the trauma and stuff that they do or go through before they come to school. And then they got to, hold that in, they're in survival mode, just because they're not thinking about work. They're just thinking about, okay, I'll go to school, because at least I'm not around that. And then they come to school and they're just getting the same stuff, still getting yelled at, still getting judged, still getting, followed everywhere, teachers following you. Yeah.
All right, thanks very much. Caitlin, do you have anything to add to that from your experiences? No, not right now. You had some difficult times at schools too, didn't you?
Yeah.
And did you leave early?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Maybe another time. All right. Thanks very much, Layla. And just reminding everyone, you're the chairperson of our wonderful Youth Indigenous Conference, and everyone will be able to meet you in person the 8th of May in North Melbourne. Okay. Thank you, Layla, and thank you, Caitlin.